Good morning and welcome back to Poe Discussions with Carmen and Jeanie. Jeanie,
Hello.
how are you this morning?
Oh, it is an early Sunday morning and it's great to be alive. So it's a wonderful day. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, who are we going to talk to today?
Well, we have a very special guest. We have our poetry contest, our third annual poetry contest winner, C. Oulens. So she is joining us from not around here. We'll just say that. So happy to have her join us, and we're going to talk a little bit about her poetry and about her. And we're just going to enjoy another discussion and find out another Poe person. So, thank you. And if you want, do you want me just to refer to you as C? Is that okay?
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, C, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you want us to know, and then we will go from there.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Jeanie, to have me on this podcast. I would like to first express my heartfelt thanks to the Six Degrees of Edgar Allan Poe for awarding me this prize. It's a big honor for me, and also all the judges, the a wonderful panel of judges. So I'm C. Oulens, and I'm based in Delhi, India.
Mhm.
And I've been an academic for about a couple of decades. And currently, I am mostly pursuing my creative interests. So poetry, of course, is one of them. Uh, so that's a brief background about me. And
Okay.
I've been sharing my poetry on some social media for the past about 1.5 years. Also started recently sending my works to various publications, and this was a contest which I also sent my poem to.
Yes,
Very well.
that is awesome. Do you have a certain style of poetry you like to write the best?
Uh, yes, I mostly write in free verse, but my poetry revolves around understand I'm deeply intrigued by human behavior, the psychology and the
Mhm.
emotions, and try to draw parallel from the natural environment. So that intersection between human behavior and nature, that's one of the core uh, uh, areas or themes around which I work, uh,
Mhm.
around which I write my poems.
Well, that I was going to say that ties in beautifully with Edgar Allan Poe and how he wrote.
Yes. Yes,
Right.
his
So that,
go ahead.
sorry. Yes, that's what draws me to his poetry, that psychological part,
Mhm.
which he does so amazingly. So,
Yes.
uh, yeah.
Yes, that's what draws me to him also. I love the psychological and emotional attachments that he puts into his writing.
Mhm.
And when you can connect to what's being written on a level that is your own, and it's not just for the audience, but you take a personal interest in it, it just attaches more feeling and more reverence to the work. And I think that's one of the things that drew me to your poetry when we, Carmen and I were not judges.
No, we
That's
never
one of the
are.
things that we do. We read after the fact.
Yes.
We let so that way we don't have any influence. We don't know anything ahead of time. So it was after the judges made their decisions that we went in and we started reading the works.
Absolutely.
So, on that note, we would love if you would impart to the audience the winning poetry for the adult category
Mhm.
of 2025 for us.
Oh, that absolutely. I would love to read the poem.
Okay.
Just a minute. Let me open it. Otherwise,
Okay. No worries.
yeah. Uh, so this poem's titled Seen, Unseen. It's a shovel after Edgar Allan Poe's Alone. From childhood's hour, I have not been seen by others, passing unseen as in between, through eyes that bring the burns on back, unsaid words spring to mind, hushed insults, calmly taken, nulling noise to soften tone, weaving dreams within, dreams awaken, slaying monsters all alone. Always, always dreading the dawn, the time when monsters fresh are drawn, the light that cannot hide man's ill, the paths that lead you tragic still. For waters from a purging fountain, for rumbles from some silent mountain. So age over years rolled in scraped slivers of sun's gold. I made my truce with the blind sky. Perchance I was just treading by until again a breaking storm. When heavens poured their bleakest blue, in aftermath sent ghastly forms, demons, ogres, ogled in view. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
absolutely
you.
beautiful. Love
Yes, and
hearing
also
that.
anyone that would love to actually see it and read it themselves
Mhm.
can find it posted under our tab on our website for the 2025 winners. So
Absolutely.
that's www.6degreesofpoe.com, right?
Yes, that is correct.
As you can see, I don't visit the website enough myself, so
Yes.
because I don't remember it, but okay. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank
And
you. It's beautiful.
yes, and
And
Thank you.
Alone is one of his most favored poems of mine also.
mhm.
That and El
I,
Dorado.
right. My favorite ones are Alone and The Bells. So it was like I had to decide between the two. It was a tough task to decide.
Oh, that would be
But
Oh
difficult
yeah.
between those. Yes.
so
Yeah.
I picked up this one because I also wanted to write a shovel, and this was a very also it's that loneliness or that feeling of being alone. How does one view when somebody views differently a world? How does the world view them? So that was the idea of me picking up uh, this piece to write on.
Well,
Yeah.
you did it amazingly. It just it's such I don't know. I guess I keep saying beautiful because it is, but I love the way you used alone and kind of wove your own version of that into what you created. It's just amazing. And so
Thank you very much.
you're
Yeah.
welcome. Have you done any other poems similar to this, like with Poe's work or any other authors?
Uh, Not with Poe's work, but something very tangential to Poe's work. I just used his Nevermore in that poem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's sort of a whimsy sort of poetry piece, dream state type
Mm-hmm.
one. Uh, but apart from that, I write a lot of poetry on uh, ideas that explore dream states or illusions or
Mm-hmm.
the elusive uh, and memory traces. So yes, I've written a lot of poems in that area, but not really with
Mm-hmm.
uh, picking up a particular poet and their style.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would say Jeannie and I both write poetry as well. And for me, sometimes
Oh,
it's
that's
just this
great.
So thank you. And for me, sometimes it's just I get an idea in my head and then I go with it. And then some things I do get that motivation from something I've read and kind of tie it to, a lot of things that I do is based on Poe. But yeah, it's poetry is so fun to write and just I love it.
Right.
I know Jeannie does too.
Mhm. It's one of the most expressive arts aside from actual visual art, in
Hmm.
my opinion, that you can use to pretty much put your innermost thoughts out to display. And
It's an
see, you've
excellent
also
way of expressing, right? Right.
exactly. And
Yes.
you said that you have been posting for about a year and a half on some social media, your poetry, is that correct?
Right.
So could
So
you let
I
our audience know where they could go to find out more of your poetry, even though it may not be Poe inspired, but
Hmm.
it's definitely something that people want to check out.
Yes.
Right. So I'm mostly active on Blue Sky these days, although I had joined Insta Threads in
Mhm.
around May last year. I started posting my poems previously on Insta Threads
Okay.
as Owl and Squirrels 1111.
Okay.
That was my user handle on Threads. After that, I moved to Blue Sky since late Feb this year, and I've been mostly posting there. I'm as again Owl and Squirrels 1111.bsky dot social,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
and yes, under Sea Owlens, the
Okay.
same
Okay.
name.
Okay.
And I'm also on Substack as C. Owlens there,
Okay.
Okay.
right? But recently I've been mostly on Blue Sky.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't manage many,
Hey, no, that's
right?
that's a place to be if you
Mhm.
just are getting started, and especially because so many social media platforms are around nowadays.
Yes. Oh my
You
goodness.
never
Right.
know where you're going to find
Yes.
someone. And did you include that
I
information
love
on
the
the?
poetry community on Blue Sky a lot. It's very engaging, and yes, so I tend to stay around there.
All
Okay.
right. I'm gonna have to check it out. I don't think I've checked out Blue Sky yet.
I
I
have.
just now got back on Instagram after about 7 years. So I'm not as
Oh.
I was off social media for over 6 years. I just totally just went cold turkey. I was I was like,
Okay.
no Facebook, no Insta, no anything. I barely checked email. So it's kind of good to get back in the game, I guess. So Blue
Did.
Sky might be next on my list. So
Absolutely.
Would love to have you there.
woohoo! I'll definitely check you out and follow you.
Yes.
So
Well, one other question that we had mentioned to you is how did you first hear about Edgar Allan Poe? Like, where did he kind of enter into your life?
Oh, well, that was way back in school.
mm,
So I was introduced to his poetry in school.
Hmm.
Not stories many because I really can't. Probably I must have read his stories too, but I can't recall.
Okay.
Uh, I was introduced to his poem The Raven, and that's what got me interested there. But during my college days, I sort of lost interest in poetry, reading poetry.
mhm,
So yes, then there was no Poe or any other poets.
mhm,
I was from a very different academic background, so no
Hmm.
scope, not much scope of literature
Okay.
mhm.
in that areas. But over the last few years, when I again picked up my interest in poetry, so that's when I started reading other poets and, of course, also Poe, because yes, the Raven was definitely on my mind. Uh,
Absolutely. That one always is a hook, I think, for so many people. That one and
Mhm.
Annabelle Lee, when we asked
Yes,
this, yeah, when we asked this question to all of our guests, and those are probably two of the most common poems from him, and Alone is in there as well. And then stories, there's a few different ones too. But it sounds like that his poetry really resonated with you more than the stories from when you were in school.
right, right. That's true. So
Hey.
the Raven, apart from the Raven, yes, Annabelle Lee, the Bells, these are a few of my favorite
Yes.
pieces. The Bells I really enjoy reading out loud as well sometimes
Yes.
because of that musicality and that
Mhm.
pacing, and the third stanza is like mind blowing. I really love that stanza.
Yes.
The brazen bells, so love that stanza.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I love that poem too. And again, you're exactly right. I am still teaching. Jeannie's retired, and I teach
Mhm.
freshman English. And that the
Okay.
bells is not something that we do, but I always tell my students poetry has to be read. That's why there's a speaker. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I'm trying to teach them, even if you can't read it like just to your, out loud, if we're reading silently, read it in your mind, like pretend like you're actually saying it out loud. And the bells is a perfect example of that. It's an awesome poem.
Well, and not only that, it is the perfect example of the circle of life
Yes.
Right.
because, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and
The
Poe
way,
wrote it. And go ahead. See, what were
yes,
you saying?
I was exactly saying that. Yes, the
Yeah.
way it starts with a very cheerful, joyful note, joyous note, and then a little bit warmer, and then that third stanza, the chaos, which we all experience in life. We start off with those youthful
Yeah.
ideas, very
Mhm.
carefree, and then we settle down. There's some warmth, and uh, we face those chaos of life. So,
Mhm.
and of course, the inevitable, uh,
Yeah.
which is the last stanza. So, yes,
Mhm.
it's a circle of life which he discusses in that uh,
Yeah.
beautifully in that poem.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he makes it all, even the very last stanza, a type of celebratory for life
Mhm.
with
Right,
the bells, even though it's a sad ringing, but it still resonates as a happy celebration that you made it to that point.
Yes.
So,
right.
Yeah.
but yeah, they are definitely Poe's more poignant emotional and psychological poems, and
Mhm.
they will probably still be around even after we're all gone, after our last bell has tolled. Oh, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
I think that's the wrong writer. The bell last. Okay, sorry. I was
I think
crossing authors there.
right. I think people like you, organizations like you, also are doing a uh, great job out there raising awareness.
Well, thank
So
you.
yes, I think that's great. Encourages the youngsters as well to contribute to learn more about his poetry.
I totally agree. And that's one reason why we do the adult category and the youth category for the poetry contest, because we want to encourage more young people to find Poe's works and celebrate it within their own talents. And we've had over the past 3 years some wonderful young people that between
Hmm.
13 or no 11 and 17
Hmm.
enter poems. And so it's exciting when we get all of them, but when
Hmm.
we have lots of young people, it's exciting because we know that poetry is going to continue to live on
Hmm.
because they're they're
Right.
they're the writers of the future.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's very important to, I mean, not just Poe, but it's also very important that we sensitize them to poetry
Hmm.
overall.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes. Any type of self-expression that can get them in the right frame of mind
Hmm.
to help them grow is
Yeah.
pretty much where we're trying to lead them, whether it's with Poe or with just poetry or
Hmm.
just with anything, any art,
Yes,
anything they just love to do.
Hmm.
So
absolutely.
that's the teachers in us. We can't help
Yes.
it.
Yes, I am an academic too, so yes,
Exactly.
I
So
would
Oh,
absolutely agree
yeah.
with you both.
Yeah,
yeah.
we can't help it. It's just it's in our DNA apparently. So,
Oh, yes. So,
so
see, what is your, do you have a like a specific writing process when you are going to start a new poem?
Uh, yeah, I never first of all sit on my chair and desk to write a piece.
Hmm.
I never do that.
Okay.
That doesn't work for me at all.
Yeah.
So it's my poetry writing process is more, intuitive. I start off something and I always write my pieces on my phone, never on my laptop or notebook.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
all of my pieces have been written on phone because
mm,
it's there with me all the time.
Yeah.
My and I can, sort of keep on reading, keep editing, keep
Mhm.
adding, keep shifting. Plus, I have a lot of things scribbled on my phone, on my notes app. It's full of scribbles. And yes, so I use a lot of those scribbles often, very often. I use those things and develop them in as a poem. So, it's not a very disciplined type of schedule I follow for writing poetry. It's
Mhm.
more like a fun enjoyment. And but of course, there are certain things that guide me to start writing something. The prompts were very, very useful on the various social media. So I
Mhm.
used to do. I try to engage with a lot of prompts
Okay.
on the social media. Sometimes I also create prompts for myself for
Okay.
thinking, okay, if I'm gonna write on this, let me put certain prompts in my head, and
Hmm.
then I work around those ideas. Uh, plus, apart from just as I said, I write on my phone. So even when I'm watching TV or uh, maybe sitting alone in some cafeteria. So
Hmm.
I just keep writing something. And a lot of time those over the process, if I like something, I try to uh, create or I try to convert it into a poetry, into a piece. Also, in the beginning, when I started writing poems, they're not really great pieces, but a lot of good ideas or emotions or my feelings are there. So I pick them up and use them in my new poems.
Okay. Okay.
that's
Uh,
good.
a lot of times, when I wake up mid-sleep, there's some lines or words floating in my sleepy head.
Yes.
So yeah, so
Oh,
I
yes.
just write it on my phone. I never spurn my poem away. So she's very, very touchy. If I just, think, okay, let me keep on rewinding it in my head and I'll write it down. In the morning, it's gone. She's nowhere around. So,
I know
Hmm.
exactly what you mean. And my phone, like I charge it, by my bed at night. And if I do wake up like that, if I don't, I do use a Google Keep and just it's got little notes and I just type things in sometime. And if I don't, when I wake up and have that and like type it in, yeah, it's gone. And it's so important to capture
right,
that.
absolutely. So that's how I start. I work on my on my phone first, and then when I feel that a poem's almost ready, then I sit on my laptop for those final edits,
Mm-hmm.
uh, those line breaks, those spacing, because it helps you to visualize the white space, how I want to navigate that white space,
Mm-hmm.
where are the breaks, because the phone has a limited screen, right? So
Yes.
Mhm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
so unless I'm writing a very small haiku or a tanka or charita, which fits in the screen size, so
Mm-hmm.
otherwise I then take and sit down on the laptop and work on the final edits.
Okay.
But even then, after that, again I keep checking on my phone, because until I've sent it somewhere or I've posted it somewhere, there always things that the small fine tuning there's always something that comes up when I reread it. So it's a very iterative process.
Mm-hmm.
I For one poem I probably have 7 8 versions, sometimes even the smaller pieces, a lot of versions I have tend to have. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it really confuses me which one is the better one.
Oh yeah,
It's
that
not
would be
always
hard. Yeah.
not always a great idea to have so many versions.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Well,
gonna
and
say
editing is our friend. So, because
yes.
sometimes if you go back to something a few days later, it's like, oh no, this would sound better if I did it this way. Or so, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
our brains just seem to want to change things, but they have to rest on it for a minute. It's like slow cooking.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. And I know like my with my writing process of editing, I usually don't keep a different version. I just edit over what I'm working on because and I love hearing everyone's different processes of how they write because it kind of it's like everybody's different in how they do it and it's what works best for each individual person. But I still think it's fascinating hearing how people decide how they're going to write or when ideas come and yeah, if I know that if I kept different versions, I probably would confuse myself.
Hey,
Yes.
I
So
That's
have
a great
different
idea.
versions from 20 years ago. So,
Oh,
yes, earlier I didn't used to keep these versions,
okay.
I just used to keep on editing on the same piece because I was confident that this is that what I'm improving or adding is
Hmm.
better. But these days sometimes I feel, okay, no, let me keep it, let me retain it, and let me have a relook later on to see, whether I really did a better job, or
That makes sense.
the previous ones still is more enticing to me.
Yeah. Oh,
So
absolutely. No, I think it's a great process because again, and it's what works for each individual. And, you know I've probably changed my process over the years because I've been writing since I was little and much more juvenile and then as growing as an adult
mhm.
experience and things like that. But I actually with poems I like to actually handwrite them out. I have a like little journal that I do and I will like edit cross things out so I can see what I have. So I guess in a way I kind of have keep a version of it before I type it to just kind of see, but then sometimes I can't read my handwriting. Oh,
yeah, that's difficult sometimes. So,
That's very
yes.
difficult, especially when you keep crossing out and
Yes.
between the lines you keep adding words.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yes, so when I used to write, when I was in back in school and college, when I used to write during those periods, yes, I think my process was very similar to yours.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
used to maintain a journal and write things in that. But yeah, I guess why I started working on the phone was because I started scribbling,
Yeah.
things, and the phone was always around me. So
Yeah.
uh, and that's how I kept picking and developing poetry from those pieces or from new ideas, kept adding, and it used to feel a pain, to sort of write down back in a notebook or a diary. So
Hmm.
I kept on doing that, and while when you're working somewhere and uh, some things just comes up, the phone is there,
Yes. No,
always around,
absolutely.
always around.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're like an appendage to us.
Yes, to us.
Yes. But yeah, no, that's a great way because like you said, any like if you are somewhere and you've got some time or an idea pops into your brain, you can
Right.
work on it or at least put that idea down. And that's amazing. That's awesome.
Thank
And
you.
what's even better now is that since we have uh, basically carrying around recording devices in our phones, if we don't have a pen or a piece of paper handy, we can always just record
Yes,
what comes into our brains
Hmm.
at that moment.
absolutely.
So,
Right. So that I do during nights sometimes when I don't want to open my eyes, to
mhm,
write down.
Hmm.
yes.
I just voice record
Okay.
Oh,
those
yeah.
things. Mhm.
Yeah,
Been there,
that's
done
a great
that.
idea too. When I have a little bit of a drive to work, to the school I work at, and if I can't write, like if I've got an idea that pops in my head, I will do a voice recording because if I
Mhm.
don't, I'll keep repeating it in my head until I get to school. And it's like if I can just record it real quick, it won't leave my brain forever.
Absolutely. That's great. Yes.
Yeah. So, Jeannie, what other questions do you have?
Well, other than continuing to write poetry, do you have any kind of uh, in the works? Do you have something particular, like you're getting ready to publish something or anything like that that we would like to know? If you don't, that's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, a few of my poems have already been published and accepted for publications
Hmm.
uh, uh, in different anthologies or featured on worksites.
Hmm.
Mhm.
One recently was in Beautiful Little Fools by the Broken Spine
Okay.
Publications, UK. Uh,
Okay.
so it featured in that anthology, and another one's coming up in Rights and Trials again by the Broken Spine. So
Okay.
that poem is like a very, very long poem, around 3-4 pages. And
Oh,
I'm really
Nice.
right. Uh, so that's a piece that I actually developed from a lot of my scribbles combining.
Mm.
Yes, so that's why I really do not. I love my phone, and I just love that process because those scribbles really came up and gave me ideas and
hmm.
to convert them into poetry. So apart from that, I have a few pieces which were featured by the Starbeck Orion on Substack,
Okay.
and some haikus. They have been published in various haiku journals.
Oh, that's good.
Uh, yes, and apart from that, I've just submitted some poetry chapbook with some publication, uh, and a couple of other chapbooks are uh, in the making, as in the poetry is there. I'm just trying to synthesize, sort of see how around a certain theme which all poems will fit in. So I'm working on that. And apart from that, I've been sort of writing a memoir for some time, for a while. So
Okay.
let me see where it goes, where it's headed to.
I understand. Well, that's wonderful, and we look forward to tracking them down and looking them up, and
Thank
hope to
you.
see more in the future and hear more from you. And we want to once again thank you for choosing our contest to enter, and congratulations once more on the winning poem. And we just look forward to talking to you again in the future. And
Absolutely.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for this award, I was really, I said it earlier as well, but I would like to repeat again. I was like overjoyed when I received the mail. But when I started reading the mail, I was like, okay, is this like one of those? No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we're
but
glad
and
it was
then
a surprise.
Yes.
it
Yes.
was a huge surprise. I wasn't really expecting because I thought it's a very small poem, the people will be writing long ones and
Hmm.
uh, you so I wasn't really expecting to win the
Yeah.
prize, and so thank you so much. Thanks to all the judges as
Yeah.
well.
Well, you
All
are
right.
so welcome. Yes, it just again the poetry contest is one of mine and Jeannie's favorite things we do because it just seeing the influence that Poe has had on people, and what they decide to take and write about, either a poem or a story that he's done, or just take a trope or a theme or something like that. And it wows us every year.
Mhm. Yes.
Great.
And we hope it continues to wow and keep getting more and more entries and more people
Yes.
getting inspired by Poe. And
Mhm.
once more, thank you for joining us and
Thank
going
you.
into our Poe community.
Yes,
And
Thank
absolutely.
you.
we hope you hang out with us more in the future. And on that note, we
We
are
are Poe.
Poe.